Let's talk about dark horses for the Australian Open. Who's your pick that might come out of the obvious pack? We didn't see them on that particular screen.
So let's get some clarification here for Jason and I both. When you're saying dark horses, you're saying dark horse to win, to lift the title.
Yeah, to lift the title.
I'm going Grigor Dimitrov. He's going to be my dark horse. He's played some phenomenal tennis last year, especially on the hard courts. We've seen, granted, not the career-high ranking that he's achieved earlier in his career when he got up to #3 in the world, but I think the level that he played at last year is a little bit higher. He's moving into the forecourt area, played a phenomenal match in Miami against Alcaraz, in which he kind of showcased what the variety can do to offset some of the best players in the world. He's currently in his off-season training, doing a lot of training with Yannick Sinner, and to me, that's also a big point. If he's practicing with the best player in the world on a day-in and day-out basis for a week or two, I think the rest of the competition is going to be a little bit weary of Grigor Dimitrov coming in.
He's waiting to jump in here, Chris. You can see his face. Like, there's something coming.
I was just saying, compelling argument, but he's got zero chance of winning the
Zero?
Zero chance.
Zero.
Wow. Grigor, right? Great player, love him. Very stylish individual.
He doesn't love you right now.
Play, he hates me. I'm not going to get any Christmas cards from Grigor, but I just don't think he has what it takes upstairs. He's talked about getting really anxious over the course of the last couple of seasons as well. In the big matches, he gets very, very nervous. There's no way he can bring it when it really matters at the tail end of a major. If you're talking about dark horses, players that have the opportunity to win, it's going to sound ridiculous, but I'm taking Novak, obviously, because... No! Dude, I'm telling you, right? If there's a chance of him winning a major next year, it's going to be in Melbourne. But
hold on, can we evict guests from TC Live Studios?
No, Novak, then Zverev. I think he's played well there last year. Now, of course, all these guys have been.
I've got Kaboli down here.
That's a dark horse. No, give me a dark horse.
That's the next category. That's the next category. We're talking about guys that could win it. They've been so dominant in the men's game. Dimitrov has no chance of winning the Aussie Open. OK? So we're talking about players other than Sinner and Alcaraz that would win that title. And it's a short list. Even if you get down to Taylor Fritz, you're going, OK, it's a bit of a long shot. But those are great players. But they've been so dominant at the highest levels of the game, splitting the majors last season or this season, that there are so few players that can win. Hence my argument.
When picking a dark horse, you're supposed to ruffle some feathers. You're supposed to sit there.
It's not a dark horse.
You're supposed to sit there and have people go, that's a bit of a risky call, but...
So
go
how
right
was
ahead with
Novak's season last year? How was Novak's season last year?
All right, let's move on.
Made history. I think it was a pretty good season.
Let's move on to WTA. We've got dark horses of the greatest of all time, potentially winning the men's. Where are we at on the odds on the WTA? We've got Sabalenka, a double defending champion down there, edging out Swiatek, who, Chris, hasn't enjoyed the playing conditions really in Melbourne. A little too quick for her.
Yeah, but I think she's going to be able to make the adjustment. I don't see any reason as to why she can't. She has a pretty compact backswing. She's won the U.S. Open when the U.S. Open was on some pretty quick courts, pretty quick conditions. So I think it's just an adjustment she'll be able to make. She'll be able to have some success down in Melbourne. The one that sticks out to me is I look forward to seeing Elena Rybakina partnering with Goran Ivanisevic. That's a partnership I'm excited to see how she's able to rebound on the back of this year, going into next year with Goran in her camp. It should be pretty interesting.
Is a former Wimbledon champion your dark horse?
Might as well.
If you thought my man was a bad pick, wait till you hear what I've got for the women's dark horse.
Oh, I think we probably have the same.
I liked some value on the bottom line there as well. Some players that can play well, put a good run together, like Danielle Collins.
Agreed.
Right? Big hitters, quick conditions down there. I like Rybakina as well with a new coach on her back. So I think you can get some good value there. Let's move on.
I think we might be locking step on this one.
Let's talk about a little bit of a breakout star on the WTA. So I've gone with... I know Marta made the quarters last year. She lost to Coco in 3 sets. Marta Kostyuk. She's going to be somebody that I'm going to be looking to potentially get a little stage further. I'm not saying that she's quite ready, but she is one of the best athletes out there. Have you got any other names in that stratosphere that you feel could come out and break out?
I think Peyton Stearns. Yeah. I'm excited to see Peyton Stearns partnering with Tom Hill, hook 'em horns, partnering with Tom Hill, who has the experience of being on tour, worked with Maria Sakkari for a number of years. Now in her camp, Peyton has really started to own her game. She's so fun to watch, so athletic around the court, can play well in all areas. She reminds me a lot of Emma Navarro in some ways, has the ability to slide out of the corners, use the slice, will serve and volley. So I'm a big fan of Peyton Stearns.
My dark horse is Iga Swiatek, OK? Because I think she's got a really... I think she's going to have a really good season on hard courts next year. I think she's really struggled in the last couple of years, got a new coach on her back, and I don't see any reason why she can't perform a lot better. She's had one semi-final down there, no other quarterfinals. So that's a poor record, considering she's one of the best players in the world. But as far as players that are ranked a little lower, Paula Badosa. Okay, had a really good 12 months. Yes, she's a former world number 2. I know that, right? I've locked that in.
That's a dark. I can deal with that.
She has struggled with a serious back injury in the last sort of 12, 24 months, and I really like the way that she was competing towards the tail end of the season. I'd love to see her back at the top of the game. I love watching her compete. I think she's great for the game, great for us tennis fans. I'd like to see her have a great, positive start to the new season.
Just really quickly before we go to the break, Paolini, will she back up her year that she's had this year?
I say no.
No, you can't reproduce that kind of form again with lack of firepower.
You don't think so? OK, all right. That's a little bit of a prediction into 2025 from the guys here in the studio.
Is she a dark horse?